Hello everyone. Today we are going to introduce the OpenAI's Assistance API. It is different from the AI agent. It is also a new feature. So as of December 2024, it is still in the beta version. And I think the benefit of using OpenAI Assistance API is that it's very easy to use. So it has a website that you can create assistant using the graphic user interface. Or of course, you can create assistant in Python. And it worked very well with other OpenAI hosted tools. For example, you can create a vector database on OpenAI. If you don't need to store huge amount of the documents, then you can create that one through the website. And you can allow the assistant to access the data in the vector database. And then you can also communicate with users. So I think it's very easy to use, such as building an assistant and also building a vector database. So if you want to put everything in your OpenAI. However, it is also relatively expensive. So if you have, like, say, huge amount of data, so you may choose other data storage like MongoDB as the vector storage. All right, so let's get started. So you can go to the dashboard of OpenAI, and you can create an assistant here. So you can see you can create by using the website. Again, everything we did here, you can do that in Python. So or you can do that in your applications, in your apps. So let's go ahead and create a new assistant. So I'm going to create an assistant like my TA, teaching assistant for my data mining class. So I will call it data mining course TA. And I'm going to give instruction. Those are like system instructions. So you are a AI TA for my data mining course. You need to answer. So I want use this AI assistant to answer my students' emails. So answer students' emails based on the documents provided. Okay. So as I mentioned earlier, so we can attach files, or we can also enable the code interpreter, and those are all hosted by OpenAI, and so you can see it's very easy to use. So so we'll do that in a second. So you can choose different models, and I'm going to enable the search file search. I'm also going to enable the code interpreter. You can choose the temperature. So let's think I'm going to give it 0. Top number of the candidates. So I will give it 1 point. Just give it 1. And I think that's it. So I'm going to just create my assistant. Okay, so you can see this is an assistant. I don't know why we have this untitled. I think that's a bug. We also have this assistant API, which we'll use that one later. By the way, we still need to the OpenAI API key as well. So I think it is a paid version, so it's a paid service. Next, we're going to go to the storage. So this also is hosted by OpenAI. I think it's more expensive than the other solutions. So for example, here you can create a file storage. If you want AI to search, like do the semantic search, and you can just create a vector store. So it's very simple. You just click create, and let's call it data mining documents. So it's more like a knowledge database. And then I can just upload my files. So add files. So here I'm going to add two files. One is my course syllabus, so which has like the office hours, the schedule of this class, learning objectives, etc., and also what are the required textbook. So you can see that students ask a lot of questions. Actually, they can find those answers from the syllabus. My second document I'm going to upload is the instruction for the final project. So I list all the steps. So you need to collect data, you need to do some analysis in Python, and then finally you need to create a dashboard on MongoDB. So just 2 documents, and I'm going to upload that to the vector database. All right, so I'm going to upload syllabus and also the final project documents. And I'm going to attach. Okay, and you can see that's it. So now we have the vector database being created. So you can see it's very simple. So you don't need any programming if you don't like Python or if you don't want code. All right, so now we're going to allow the assistant to access this vector database. So you can actually create an assistant here, or you can go back to assistant. Again, this is our real assistant. Let's see if we can add files. And we're going to select the vector store. They want us to select the vector store ID. So I'm going to copy this ID and come back and paste. Okay, so that is my data mining documents. Okay, I just select. All right, so now you can see that the assistant is able to access these documents. All right, so for the code interpreter, you can of course upload data just like what we did in the file storage, or you can just try that in the playground. So now we have this assistant, and we also have our vector database which connected to our assistant. So you can see we have 2 files that's in this vector database. So we can go to this playground. So we can test out this assistant. So let's go to this assistant. And we're going to use a data mining assistant. Okay, and you can see those are the system instructions. So let's type some questions. For example, like when is the final exam? Okay, let's just run it. And they are retrieving the answer from the syllabus. And now you can see they provide exact right answer that from the syllabus. Okay, so yes, it's very easy to use. Either creating the assistant or creating the vector database. So you, of course, you can also you can do everything in your app as well. So you can create you can create assistant in app as well. Let's also try the code interpreter. So for example, a student want to ask a question. So let me show the data first. Okay, so this is the data. So those are it's a text file. So it has the data for the diamonds. So we have multiple diamonds where we have the weight, color, clarity, rating, and also price. And that's in this text file. So let's upload this one for this code interpreter. And we are going to see calculate the average weight of in the attached file. Okay, now let's run it. Okay, now it works. So you can see that they are using Python to do the jobs. So actually they can executed the Python code. And what's really nice is that you can also create visualizations. So let's say create a bar chart to show the average price of the per color in the file. Okay. Okay, so now they are creating the bar chart. And so they create this code. Okay, and now this is the create bar chart. So if you expand, it is saved. You can see everything is stored in this file storage. Let's see if, okay, we can also download this chart. Okay, so average price of diamonds per color. Okay, so we can see the average price of the diamonds in different colors. Okay, so that's a function of the code interpreter. So you can upload data or you can upload documents, and you can ask OpenAI to run the Python code to analyze the uploaded data. Okay, so this is a very simple illustration of the OpenAI assistance. So as I said, so we can combine that one with other existing tools such as code interpreter, or we can also upload, create our vector database and also let assistant to answer questions from students and also based on the provided documents. So today we're going to demonstrate that how to use the OpenAI assistant function in a very simple example, that is to reply students' emails. So in this demo, we already created a database that has two documents, the syllabus and also the final project instruction. And we're going to run this Python code locally in my local computer because we need to access the emails in Outlook. And there are multiple ways to access emails in Outlook. So because the easiest way is that we are using a Python library called win23com. So you don't need any other authentications. So otherwise, if you are using APIs, then you have to make sure that your email account, your organizations allow authorize that. So that APIs. Okay, so first, because I'm using this one locally, so we need to store the credentials in this local file. So that is configure.ini, where we need two things. One is your OpenAI API, so still you need the OpenAI API. The second one is the assistant ID. So I'm going to copy the assistant ID, which is in the assistants. And that's the assistant ID. So I'm going to delete this assistant after I recorded this tutorial. Okay, and I already stored my OpenAI key in my configure.ini. Okay, so let's get the credentials. And the next, we're going to authorize the OpenAI Python object. And also, we're going to provide this assistant ID to retrieve that assistant. Okay, so we don't have any error. Next, we're going to define a function that called askAssistant. The input is a question, so like the question in the student email. And then we create a thread, and we pass that question into that thread, and we let the assistant answer the question. Remember that assistant can access our syllabus and also final project instruction, and it will return the message. So let's define this function. Okay, so let's try this function. So the name will be my name, and also question is that when is a final exam. So let's see what is the answer. Okay, so you can see the final exam is scheduled in week 17, which is accurate. And also they tell you need to present your final project and also submit your LB social certificate. They also tell you where it comes from, so that's come from the syllabus. All right, so now let's bring that assistant to our email. So again, there are multiple ways to allow you to access your emails in Outlook. So you can use the Microsoft APIs, which requires that your organization authorize that. So, or you can just use win23com, this Python library. If you are using this one, it does not require any authentications from your organization. However, you can only run it locally. So you can only run it where your Outlook is opened. Okay, so I'm going to define this function. And now I'm going to test an email. So here I will only reply the email that's sent by my Gmail. Okay, so let's go to Gmail and write an email to my GMU email. Okay, so let's write to my GMU email. So that is this. And let's see, hi, when is the final exam? Okay, and I send that email. And I think after a few seconds, I should receive that email. All right, so you can see this is the email that I received in my Outlook. So it's hi, when is the final exam? Okay, so now let's run this code. So we will like AI assistant to write this reply based on the syllabus. And also we are not going to send the reply automatically. So actually we are going to create a draft, and then so that people can still have a chance to read the draft and decide whether or not you are going to send it. All right, and you can see that this is the draft. So the original message is that what is the final exam, and you can see that's a draft. So the final exam is this, and also tell the time that's on Zoom. Okay, and so now if you're happy with this reply, you can just send. Okay, and then we got a reply from the professor. Okay, so here, and we can ask another follow-up question. So this time I'm going to type a real question that I received from my student. So this is a real question, so that how can I get my collection in Atlas to show the skills for the chart 2 on the project? Okay, so I'm going to ask AI in email that what's the answer for that. So I send out that message. Okay, and so once we receive that email, so we can just rerun it. So actually, you can schedule this this Python code that you can let it run like every 2 hours or 3 hours, every time when you got a new email, so you can reply that new email. All right, so let's run it. So now you can see that we got the new message that is how can I get collections in Atlas to show the skills. And now we have a draft. Okay, you can see this is a very detailed draft. Okay, so to display this one, in your project, you need to follow steps. So extract skills. First, ensure that you have this from the job qualification. Okay, and they also tell you where you find that one. Create a dashboard. Okay, and use the natural language queries. Publish your dashboard, etc. All right, so and also what's really nice is that if you need further assistance, considering schedule a meeting with Dr. Wei during the virtual office hours, okay, and also tell you where you can find out more information from the syllabus. All right, so to be honest, I'm very happy with this reply. I think it tells exactly what I want to tell, and also it saved me a lot of time to answer those questions. Okay, so now I'm happy, so I just send this email back to the student. All right, so that's how we can, that's a very simple example that how we can use OpenAI Assistant to automatically reply student emails.